Okay, what's up guys? This is Black Scott Pig. Welcome back to the adventure map we've been working on, and I don't quite recall what it was up to in the last video, but in any case, I don't think this was here. So this is we're finally starting up on the levels. This is level 1, Sinking Feeling. Very creative naming here. And I just wanted to make a video of, just so I could talk about the map, what's going to go on, and get some building done at the same time. Now, I haven't really done that much. School has started back up for me, so I've been quite a bit busy. Um, but that's okay, I'm still throwing in some hours here and there. So, and I do want to get all that stuff done where I still have all the footage of me building already filmed, like all of it. There was one thing where stuff really did get built off camera. Um, and I really do feel a little bad about that because um, up until that point I had had everything filmed on camera. But so a lot of this was built off camera. I think mostly just the terrain, and this is sort of the level we're working on right now. Or no, this is kind of a stop on the way to the level, kind of a bit of a side questy area. Not totally, just a place where we can give the player some loot, a little bit of gear before the first real level. Got some water here. So yeah, I just wanted to do some building and kind of talk about what's going to go on with the map. So let me start over here. I've been working on these cliffs. Well, to be honest, I haven't really worked on the cliffs since I made that first video about 3 weeks ago. So there's really not a lot to say about them. But this is how I've been building them. I just kind of throw the blocks up. And now I kind of curved poorly there because I don't think the lip extends far enough out here. Because I've kind of been doing it, I just kind of threw the blocks down randomly. And then for a while I was building it up manually. And then another strat I used was I had the bottom and then I built the lip around the top. And then I just filled the stone in, and I think that made it a little more varied. But it also made it in some places that cliff was way too bent or way too straight up. But to be honest, I feel that might be a little more natural. Now, I'm going to have some trouble around here because the tree that grew was a little too big. But let's just kind of extend the frontier of this cliff here. Don't know if that's the right words. So it's kind of pretty straight throughout here. So I'm just going to slightly curve it out this way, just to give the cliff a bit more of a curve back here, because I think it's kind of been leaning into straightness. And then it kind of curves back. So now I realized I was kind of adding way too many bonus chests. So even though I wanted to, I do not believe there's any loot within this little cave here. But, that's fine. Not every little detail has to be loot. It can also just be there for looks. Make the map a little fuller. But I really love how this is going so far. Bringing back adventure maps in the old style. I say I'm bringing it back like it was like I'm pioneering this revolutionary ancient idea. I'm sorry, I'm moving my my computer case here because my computer is kind of heating up. Oh, and that's hot because I'm playing on laptop, and that's probably gonna make about 400% of people click off this video when they find out I'm playing on laptop, and on a Mac at that. But you play with what you can. Play with what you can. Okay, this is going pretty well. Now, so for this area, I want to make it seem like you're going through the cave, right? Because I want to make this as open world as possible, meaning like I don't just want to block off areas. I want to make it, you're allowed to move anywhere on the map you want, and it's just designed so you can't get to unwanted areas. Just like an open world game, I suppose. Now, I've got to be a little more creative here because it is Minecraft, and I didn't want to use any command-related stuff, so I'm not using barriers either. I'm really limiting myself, but, you know, I feel like these are the restrictions that existed in the older days, and I think the maps back then were a lot better. So I cannot go against them, go against the rules. And right now this is like completely straight. Over here I've slanted it up, and I will probably add some slant, but right now I'm just kind of trying to mark out how I want this to look. And now let me take you guys on a tour of this. So this is level 1. I have to do something about these vines. I might just do that so we don't get any vines in front of the title. So this is level 1 where you go to get one of the keys. And sorry, I never really fully explained the story, and I don't know if I will do that right now, but there is a story. Don't need to read about this. So this is the train here. You're not going to be able to get past here, so that way I won't have to build this cliff out into infinity. The terrain is just kind of going to get high here. The cliff is going to extend just far enough so you don't, you know, you can't see the end. It makes it look like it goes off into infinity. Now, I do not really have a distinct time period set for this, because I realize up until now it's all been pretty medieval, and now I've got like a train station, but I don't think it's too big a problem. You know, it's all pretty Minecraft-y. Train station, still pretty old-fashioned. You have to find the key. This is a pretty easy little thing you have to do here. You just got to get the key to get into the terminal. And the way you do that, also, yes, spoilers for anyone who just wants to play the map. As I said in the last video, do not watch these videos if you just want to play the map without knowing a few things. So to get there, you're like, I have to get in via that air vent, but how do I get up? Oh, look at this, you do the parkour. And this is like the little storeroom. Unexplained as to why it's deeper than the rest of the building, and then you jump into here. And it's kind of tedious to get through here. But then you can get the tickets. And this is the ticket dealer. And then you bring it back, you throw it in, you know. You get the gist. Now, I'm relying on people not getting out of the minecart because they might be able to break the immersion that way. Just right here at the start. But maybe I could... No, I'll build some barricades. I'm not going to be too lazy about that and not properly barricade the area. But all of this is going really well, and I'm really excited for the final product. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get some proof in of me building all this. So let's go up 2 blocks here. We'll do that. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Pretty good. A little sheer there. It's better. Okay, so... there's a lot of work. Ooh, this might be a little too far extended. Well, let's see. That is quite the cliff, isn't it? Well, I'll do reasonable steepness. Like, I'll do it pretty steep. But that's extraordinary step. Step? It's not a thing, is it? Well... I'm conflicted. Because if I make this a little bit higher, then it won't have to be that steep. Like if I just kind of do that, and I go there, down a bit, and I want to do this anyway to give this some, you know, more realistic, natural feeling. So, is that good? I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, and then even though it's still going out as far, it has more room to get up there, so it won't be as ridiculous in its steepness. I want to know if there is like a word for that. Steepness. No, I think steepness is proper. I don't know. And sorry, these videos probably won't be immensely edited because these are sort of just for me to get some work done while talking. Because, you know, it's kind of, it's boring to work alone on this without people. So I figure the best way to make it more entertaining is just sort of to talk to all my viewers out there, all my 108 viewers from the last video. And it won't be as, lonesome as I perform the long task of building up these cliffs. And yes, for all of you eagle-eyed people out here, there is a little thing up here. Free daiquiris. There's some daiquiris in here, strawberry daiquiris, as well as some strawberries. And some roses for some reason, or poppies. Because I don't know, I wanted to put something in the chest instead of all daiquiris. Oh, but I did find something out fancy. See, the original reason I didn't just fill it up with daiquiris was because I had to make a potion and rename it every time because they don't stack. But I found that if you middle click with your mouse wheel, boom, duplicates in creative mode, so you can have the named items duplicate. But I still think it's better to have some variety in that loot crate there. Loot crate. So does it go straight up here? Yeah, and then don't worry, I'm not leaving it like that. I'll smooth it out a bit. So I figure I'll go up by 2. No, I'm gonna, and then from here I'll go up by 1. And 2 at the end there. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And it kind of curves pretty good right there. Okay. So yeah, and if any of you want to build cliffs like this, you just follow my guide here. And really, it's all about doing it just wildly. Just kind of let it go, because there's no mistakes when making cliffs like these, because random is what cliffs are. So it's never a problem. You can kind of add things in like this if you want to make it a little more curved. And the great thing is, when you're doing this, you can just kind of add stuff on after. See, this area this is all pretty complete here. And, I did my original build, and then I went back a little bit, maybe. I don't really remember. But, yeah, it's a method. So you can extend it out a little bit. If you want to, you can add some more dirt. And you can let the dirt overhang a bit, I think. Kind of gives the cliff a more natural feeling, a more wild feeling. And then at the end, I've thrown some bone meal up at the top, just so when you look at it from the bottom, it looks like it's not just cliffs that end. On the top, there's a whole world up there too. And I might throw some trees up there at the end, but I also kind of like the idea that it's a plains all the way out here, and then down here in the middle is the nice forest lush area. But, we'll figure it out. Figure it out as we go along, and I'll take viewer recommendation as much as I can. And for this, I kind of try and guarantee that there's no climbing spots. And yeah, here we are at this tree here, so I'm going to have to cut it up. But it's fine that it's pressed up, pressed up against the side of the mountain. That's okay. Would happen, I feel, in a real valley like this. Confined space, plants grow as far as they can. I know I'm going to have to cut to at least this far, and I can always add leaves back. I'm going to have to cut to at least this far, though, possibly even further. In fact, definitely further as we get up to the higher levels. See, Minecraft is a great, relaxer, I think. It's like, really, it's like painting. You get to design your little world here. And that's what I like about this adventure map. You get to create a whole unique world from nothing, too. And that's why I did it on a flat world, because, it would have been probably a little bit easier to do this on a real world and just build cliffs and not have to worry about building terrain. But I get to totally customize it this way. Every single ounce of this world was made from flat. Here's just proof. Didn't do it with World Edit. And I will eventually get those videos up of all my building. But as I said, it's really tedious to edit through those, because the later ones will be easier, but at the beginning I wasn't really thinking too hard about it. And I was, swiping over to my texts, kind of, looking at schoolwork in between, and there's a substantial amount of personal information that could be easily, like, not even people that are like combing through the videos, but no, like it's right out there in the open, so I have to edit them. But some of them are like 2-hour long videos. And in the later ones, I was like, okay, I don't want to have to do all this editing, so I'm gonna comb through, or I'm just gonna put on Do Not Disturb and not open anything during the filming process. But I didn't do that for the earlier videos, so it's gonna be more of a editing nightmare, really. But it's not gonna be too bad because, well, it is gonna be bad, but I'll get it done. But all that means is, for a while, you're not going to get to see that content. But to be fair, that's not really content that's totally meant to be viewed. It's more as proof I didn't world edit. So people know this is built in completely authentic style. And now, when I was doing it, it was not this slow. I'm going slow here because I'm kind of rambling on. But I do it like a lot faster when I'm focused. Because some of you are going to be like, how the hell did you do all this if you're going at this pace? But no, it was a little more focused in the past. I'm going to do that. Sometimes I do little things like this where I kind of plot out the top area before, or an area of the cliff before, based on how I want it to look. Because, you know, you want that curve to get in there. That's nice. And you can do it from the top down, bottom up, whatever fits your liking. And when something like that happens, you accidentally place 3 instead of 2, you don't often need to worry about that, because that's good, makes it more sheer. And I'm going to connect this all up now. Now this is going to be a relatively long and straight part, but that's not the end of the world. And if you want to, you can do little things like this. Sorry, now I've started talking about this like this is a build guide, but no, this is the map. But in case you want to do cliffs like these, and I think they really do come out looking quite good. And now over here, this is pretty good because I didn't build up these mountains, but I built up the cliffs on top, and I think they've come together to look even more realistic than the ones over here. Now, I will improve this because for now it's kind of like there's no terrain over here. So it's just flat meets cliff. That's why I built up some of this. This was me. I built this up, and it looks a lot more realistic. What's going on over here? It's kind of a divot. I think that's fine. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, it was basically focused, so if you look out the window, it didn't look odd. Because, you know, these areas, there's not a huge reason to go here. But I do want to... It's a pretty expansive forest, so I do want to hide a few thingies around here. You know, just for explorers. If you want to look around the map, you'll get a little reward. There we go. Because I love open world games, and I love open world games where you can get to know the map. And that's why I like having this kind of hub in the middle, splitting off into the 5 levels. Because the 5 levels you're only going to go to once per time, but this little hub you're going to be returning to often, very often. So it's good. It's not massive, but it's not tiny either. So there's lots to explore, but also lots to get to know. And it's possible to get to know it all because it's not ginormous. I think I kind of went off on a ramble there. My original point was that I like open world games that have a not ginormous map, but sometimes I do that. I start on my original point and then I forget what I was saying, and I talk about something else, and I talk about something else, and something else, and something else, and then the original point was lost. Oh, and this is a little side quest here. See, I told you I put in things for explorers. This is Library Bob. Young man, I have lost my favorite book in the zombie's nest. Can you run in there and get it for me? I will give you a great reward. And you're probably going to get, I don't know what you're going to get in here. Quite decided on the reward, but something pretty good because you'd have to be pretty exploratory to find this thing here. It's not exactly something It's obvious, because you have to basically go around here. And, well, no, when I do it like this, it's not very hard. You walk through here. But, you know, this is not going to be the main part. This is going to be the main part. So you'd really have to go deep into the woods. Anyway, I'm going off here, but that's okay. So let's keep her moving. Keep her rolling. I feel like I'm not building cliffs good today. Well, to be fair, I haven't done this in a while. I've been busy with school, chemistry, and all that. So I have not been practicing this. I kind of had a great method. And this thing I did here, this little jut out, this looks pretty good. I kind of want to replicate that. But yeah, for a while I was trying to encompass it all, and then I realized, well, there's really no point. Oh, no. This was because... Yeah, no, I was going to say, this was because there was cliff here. And then I built the thing. No, I wasn't encompassing it. Or what? I don't remember. Sorry, a lot of this... Oh, and let me, like, introduce you all to this. So, this is just for me and anyone helping. So, basically, I wanted to, like, make it so that you wouldn't get too good loot too fast. Because sometimes in maps I find they give you good loot at the start and then the side quests are pointless. So I've divvied it up into 5 levels of loot. Level 1 loot is bad. Level 2 loot, level 3 loot, level 4 loot. Level 5 loot is good. Level 6 loot is crypt level. I say crypt level because this is the loot you're going to get at the very end of the game. Only before the final little bit of playthrough. Like, it's the absolute best stuff. Enchanted iron armor, enchanted diamond swords, notch apples, stuff like that. So... You know, level 1 loot is wooden stuff. No armor and some food. Now, food, of course, isn't really bad loot because you need it throughout the whole game. So, you'll be getting that in almost every chest. But, and then level 2 loot would be a stone sword or an enchanted wooden and some leather armor. Level 3 loot, so you're a little later in the game, but not too deep. You know, you get an enchanted stone sword, some mail armor, and healing bottles. Level 4, you get, this is where you're getting into the good stuff. Iron, swords, enchanted mail, and... Now, what is this right here? Kind of gray looking here. Ah, it's regen. Yeah, that's better than healing, so you'd get that later. Then finally, you'd be getting things like enchanted iron, iron armor, and golden apples. And this would kind of be the best loot you're going to get just in-game normally, just from loot crates, side quests, stuff like that. And then that final stuff you'd only be getting from the crypt, which is kind of the place you're going to get to before the boss fight. That's what the... Basically, so how it's going to work is you go to the levels to retrieve keys. Once you've gotten the keys, you come unlock the crypt. That's where you get the sword. You use that sword, and then you go raid the skeleton base and destroy the skeleton king, aka the Wither. And I think that's a pretty fun little boss fight there. Sometimes I like making, I like doing this, you know, making them far away from anywhere else. So that way you get, sorry, I'm going off again here. I've lost my train of thought. I'm trying to multitask here. So that way you get one thing, you get another thing. They're not related, because sometimes I feel like trying to make it go up and down naturally is difficult. So just making different markers and then connecting them up makes it easier to make it more random and more natural. Which is why I say you don't have to worry about your mistakes, because you want it to be mistaken, you want it to be random. Because cliffs, in real life, they're quite random, if I do say so myself. Not that I've seen all that many cliffs, but I've seen my fair share of rocks in my time. And there we go. So let's connect that up. Kind of gotta... Oh, and that lines up perfectly. I'll even cut that back a little bit. And this is kind of going to be not very good, only because it's just going to be so tall here. It's going to look a little bit unnatural. but we'll kind of fix that later. Here we can connect these up. And boom, let's head over here. So, I really don't know if I describe... Like, I'm forgetting what I did in the last video, what I explained about the story. It was not very long, but because it was 3 weeks ago, I really don't recall what I explained. So I feel like if I do re-explain the same thing a couple times in this video, like things I explained already in the last video, don't kill me, because I'm just forgetful. So let's go up here, and that looks good. Anyway, so the storyline is basically that the skeletons, who are kind of organized into a kingdom, have been ravaging the planet. They've been, the realm, if you will. And they've been taking over villages, attacking, killing, looting, pillaging. And your village here, or your little... So you live in a cabin in the woods alone with your father, and your base was just ravaged by villagers. So, or by, sorry, I'm saying ravaged here. It's reminding me of the village and pillage thing. It was just ravaged by skeletons. So you go into town, it's explained to you what happened, and then you're like, okay, I need to avenge my father. And you know, I was toying with the idea that maybe they kidnapped your father, but I think I prefer you just avenging your father and saving the world, because it's more honorable. So I think that's what I'm going to do, but again, we'll kind of work with what comes along. I prefer to design a story this way, I think, instead of solidly laying it out at the start, loosely knowing what's going to happen. You know, you're going to go to the crypt and kill the Skeleton King after getting 5 keys from across the world, because the crypt is not the skeleton's main base. This is where the story might get a little confused, or like it might get a little confusing for people. You're getting the keys to unlock the ancient crypt. The crypt is an abandoned thing made by some ancient force, unexplained, or unknown, at least, within the story. So you're going to unlock it because inside the crypt, there's a sword so powerful that it had to be locked away. That's what you're using because you know that's the only way to defeat the Skeleton King. So you're journeying around the world getting the 5 keys to defeat the Skeleton King using the sword. And I'll give that a name at some point. I'm really, like, I want to come up with something sick as fuck. Sorry, I do not want to swear in my videos, Jesus. But, I realize I do not want to swear. Jesus instantly swears. Well, I really don't think that's a swear. Anyway. We're getting off on my swearing tangent here. But I want to make a really sick name for the sword. And I don't know what that is yet, so I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to just come up with a name right now before putting too much thought into it. I want to really think about a good and interesting and cool name for this weapon. Because it's got to have, like, a mystique about it. An air of mystery. I think I might be taking this a little too seriously. But, you know, not really, because, you know, it's a Minecraft adventure map. It's got to be cool. So let's do that. Anyway. So how do we want to go about wrapping this around? Now, this lines up with this. Yes, it does. Oh. Okay, there we go. And sorry, this is going to be an incredibly long video that I can guarantee not very many people are going to see the whole thing through because, well, to be fair, again, that's not really the point of this. This is mostly so I can do this build without becoming incredibly bored just doing it by myself. But I'm gonna end it soon because I think if I upload a 2.5-hour video, it's going to put some people off. So, made a decent amount of progress here, I think. Someone from there, before the tree, and all the way to here. Now, to be fair, this part of the cliff is not looking as good as all the others, but it's also not looking that bad. So let's just do that. There we go. I'm enjoying building this map, so, like, a lot. So I'm happy to make videos about it, even if they're exceedingly long. And I'm honestly happy to put up unedited content about this, even if it's not going to be seen by that many people. Because it's fun. And I really think the final product will be something people can really enjoy. So I'm just going to work towards it. And since I'm in school, yeah, like I mentioned this earlier, since I'm in school, progress will probably be slow for a while. But that's okay. So someone's going to help me. I don't know if any of you saw in the comments of the last video, Cactus, just a commenter. It's probably going to help me out. And she, I don't know. I haven't talked to this person a lot yet. But this person will be helping me out. And that's great. And I already have help from someone. Sorry, wait. What's going on here? Okay. So yeah, it's not just all on me to do this whole thing. I will be assisted, but it'll just take a while because, you know, I've got important things going on. It's my last year of not elementary school, secondary school, I suppose you'd call it. And so all of my stuff pre-university is very important. I like this little design, although I don't think it's totally lined up. Anyway, so all of it's very important. So of course I have to put school first before my Minecraft stuff. And this was my experiment for creating a piston door, and it worked. So of course I have to put school first before this, but that doesn't mean no progress will be made. It just means progress won't be super duper fast. But it won't be super duper slow either. I'll hope to get a video for you guys of updates, how it's going every little while. And I hope you guys just throw some recommendations in the comments. But anyway, that is a pretty good amount of work on the cliffs done in this video. And I know it was slow because I spent a lot of my time running around and talking. But yeah, that's a pretty decent amount of work done there. And yeah, I'm really happy if you guys did see this all the way through. I'm also happy if you just, skipped around. That's also fine. Whatever you want. Anyway, I'll see you in another video with another update. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.